Good morning again. Now we're going to talk about the second type of problem you're going to see on your homework, and the second type of problem we're going to look at is if we have a secant. Here's our secant right here, right? But it's also connected to a tangent, all right? We're going to have to look at what type of problem we're going to be solving with this, and we're going to solve for this angle right here that's created. The angle that's created when you have a tangent and a secant connected and they create an angle, that angle is half of the arc that's created, that the arc that's cut by that angle. So here's our arc that we're looking at, and I'll mark it here. This is the arc that we're looking at around here, all the way around to there. So this arc around here is 250. And what we said before, that angle has to be half of this big arc that was created. So we have this major arc of 250 degrees. Therefore, this angle has to be half of the 250 degrees. Now that's one type of problem you're going to see when you have this situation. You'll also see they'll give you this arc here, the remaining arc that's not the actual one that's cut by that angle, inside that angle, and then you'll have to figure out, subtract from 360, that's what you have left over. But I just want to write the formula up here. When we have secant and tangent, the measure of the angle is equal to half the arc cut. Half the arc that's cut by that angle, okay? And so now we know 250, half of it is, so if we have 250 times a half equals the measure of the angle, then all we have to say is that the measure of the angle has to be 125. So that's 125. Well, what if I gave you the arc on the other side and you had to figure that out? Say that arc on the other side, I'm going to say this arc out here is 120, and that changes our whole thing, right? Well, it's half the measure of the arc cut. Well, this isn't the arc that's cut by the angle. It's not inside the angle, and we want to see the arc. We want to find the arc that's inside the angle. All right, so this is outside the angle. This is inside the angle. We're looking for this angle. So we're going to subtract 120 from 360 to get this number over here. All right, so you have to do some legwork first. You have to actually work on something first to get to the point where you can actually use the formula. All right, and I think that's where some people go awry. So let's go ahead and say, okay, well, if this is 120, that has to be 240. Great, now I can throw it into the formula. The measure of the angle equals 1/2 of 240. Then do some math. The measure of the angle has to be 120 degrees. And there you go. That's how you do it. If they give you the measure of the angle and they want to find out what this arc is, all you do is multiply it by 2. They don't give you that because we've already done that before. This is just the idea for this set. Any questions, please let me know. I'll get right back to you.